You know, one of the stories that always amazes me is David and Goliath. It's not just the underdog winning, it's about faith and courage in the face of fear. David, with just a sling and a stone, stepping up to Goliath. That's bravery on another level. And when he says, "The battle is the Lord's," you can't help but feel inspired. It teaches us that no matter the size of our problems, with faith, we can overcome them. Plus, I always find a new detail every time I read it, like finding treasure. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest person can make the biggest difference. David's story starts with him as a young shepherd tending to his sheep. It's a humble beginning, isn't it? He had a great love for music, often playing his harp. Imagine the serene scenes, music filling the air. Despite being the youngest, David was chosen by God. It shows that age or experience isn't everything. His faith was so strong, even as a boy. He truly believed in the power of God's guidance. When facing lions and bears to protect his sheep, David's courage was remarkable, a true testament to his faith. And let's not forget, his skill with the sling wasn't just luck. It was practice, dedication, and faith all working together. David's story from shepherd to king is a powerful reminder that with faith, anything is possible. Goliath stood there, a giant among men, taunting the Israelites. Such a sight could shake the faith of many. Every day Goliath's challenge echoed, unanswered. The silence of the Israelites spoke volumes of their fear. It's one thing to face a man, but Goliath, with his towering height and armor, was like a mountain moving against them. But then came David, young and without armor, holding on to faith stronger than any shield or spear. David's confidence wasn't in his own strength, but in the Lord. He saw not a giant, but a challenge to be met with faith. With a sling and a stone, David faced Goliath. It wasn't the weapon, but the belief behind it that mattered. When David declared, "The battle is the Lord's," it was a powerful reminder that with faith, no obstacle is too great. The moment David's stone struck Goliath, it was more than a physical victory. It was a triumph of faith over fear. David's victory teaches us that no matter the size of our challenges, with faith, we can overcome them. When David went to visit his brothers, it was with a simple task in mind, yet what unfolded was far greater. Imagine bringing bread and cheese to your brothers and ending up facing a giant. Talk about an unexpected turn. His brothers, they were warriors seasoned in battle, and there was David, a shepherd boy among soldiers. Yet it wasn't disdain he met, but a challenge that would change the course of history. Seeing Goliath, David's heart didn't waver with fear, but burned with a righteous conviction. His brothers doubted him, warned him of the danger, but David, he saw an opportunity to show that faith had no bounds. David's response to his brother's skepticism was not of anger, but of confidence in God's power. And when he heard Goliath's taunts, it wasn't fear that gripped him, but a resolve to defend the honor of the living God. This moment, it was more than a visit. It was a divine appointment. David was about to step into his destiny. David's courage wasn't just about facing Goliath, it was about his unwavering faith in God's protection. He said, "Who is this Philistine to defy the armies of the living God?" That's not just bravery, that's a profound faith. Telling King Saul, "I will fight Goliath," showed David's confidence not in his own strength, but in God's. Despite being young, David's past experiences, like protecting his sheep from lions and bears, fortified his trust in God. Saul must have seen something in David's eyes, a fire, a certainty that this wasn't just youthful bravado, but divine confidence. David's insistence, "God who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine," speaks volumes of his faith. It's a reminder to us all that with faith, even the youngest, the seemingly least among us, can face giants. King Saul, he tried to help David in the way he knew best, offering his own armor for protection. But imagine David, so young and probably much smaller, being weighed down by this heavy armor. David knew his strength. It wasn't in traditional warfare. It was in his faith and his skill with a sling. He chose 5 smooth stones from a stream, not 4, not 6, but 5. Precision even in small details matters. With just his shepherd's staff, sling, and a few stones, David showed us that sometimes less is indeed more. Facing Goliath, he stood not with the might of armor, but with the might of belief in God's protection. David's trust in God was his true armor, proving that faith can carry us through even the most daunting challenges. This moment where David steps forward, sling in hand, it's a profound testament to trusting in God's plan for us. And so, with a simple sling and a stone, David faced the giant, a reminder that with God, all things are possible. Goliath's laughter echoed across the valley, a sound of mockery and scorn. But David, oh David, he remained steadfast. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" Goliath's voice boomed, his words dripping with disdain. But David, undeterred, replied with a conviction that could move mountains. "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Such faith. David declared that the battle's outcome would show everyone there's a God in Israel. And then, with the simplicity of a shepherd, David placed a stone in his sling and swung it with precision only faith could guide. The stone flew, a mere whisper in the air, until it found its mark on Goliath's forehead. It was a moment of divine intervention. Goliath fell, a giant toppled, not by the strength of arms but by the power of belief. It was a sight to behold. David then took Goliath's own sword, completing the victory. It was not just a win in battle, but a monumental testament to faith. This story, my friends, is a vivid reminder that no matter the size of the obstacle before us, with faith, we are unstoppable. And as Goliath fell, the field echoed with the sound of victory. David, with God's guidance, had turned the tide. The Philistines, seeing their champion defeated, were struck with fear and fled, a testament to the power of faith. The Israelites, inspired by David's bravery, surged forward in pursuit, their spirits lifted high. David, holding the giant sword, became more than a hero. He became a symbol of unwavering trust in God. This victory wasn't just a military triumph, it was a miracle that strengthened the faith of all who witnessed it. Let us remember, in our own lives, the lessons of David and Goliath. No challenge is too great when we have faith. May we all carry the slingshot of faith in our hearts, ready to face the Goliaths in our lives. David's journey didn't end with Goliath. It was just the beginning. From shepherd boy to the king of Israel, his faith guided him through triumphs and trials. Imagine, becoming king wasn't just about power for David. It was about leading with a heart for God, showing mercy and seeking justice. He penned psalms, songs of worship, pouring out his heart to God. Through his words, we feel his joys, his sorrows, his repentance. David's life teaches us the importance of a heart that seeks after God, no matter our position or circumstance. He wasn't perfect, far from it. His failures remind us that even the mightiest can fall, but with repentance there's grace. Through battles, friendships, and even personal mistakes, David's legacy is one of faith, resilience, and the heart of a worshipper. Let's carry forward the lessons from David's life, to trust in God, to seek his will, and to lead with a heart full of faith.